Hi, my name is Charles Culp. I'm from Newark, New Jersey, born and raised. I'm president and CEO of L.O.V.E Incorporated, Mr. Love Corporation Company. I got introduced to fashion through the Boys and Girls Club of Newark, Central Ward Unit. As a member there, they start bringing us to the ebony fashion shows that used to be held at Symphony Hall in Newark. So we got an opportunity to be escorts at these events. So going to the events, got to meet a lot of the models and the hosts, and just being around that environment was really interesting. For a young kid to see something like that, that was amazing. I was like, wow, this is something I would like to do. The fast paced and just the high fashion, just hearing the audience go crazy with the items the people were coming out in. And then when it was all over, when the designers walked out on stage, just seeing everybody standing up for that person, I was like, wow, I want that to be me one day. When I hear passion, I think of something coming from the soul, something that's deep within you that's ready to come out. That's something that you feel from your heart that is meant to be. I started seeing it be a career path when I was looking at a couple of other brands that were out, and they depicted things that I wasn't. I start saying, well, I can't wear that item or shirt because that's not who I am. That's nothing I would wear to advertise. So what about me? There's nothing that speaks for me. And then I realized there's a lot of people that are voiceless through fashion. So I figured I'll be that voice that they need. And that's how I came up with the idea with a brand. I'm inspired by Ralph Lauren. I'm also inspired by Sean John, as well as a host of others. But those two stick out the most because I like how their items are timeless, and it's not necessarily geared to one geographic. It's a unity in fashion. We are all one, and I like that's their target. So that's why I'm inspired by them. When I hear artist, I think display. You're putting your life on display. You're giving the world what you have. I would say my style is timeless, subtly flamboyant, bold enough to wear a color that others wouldn't, but it'll still blend in well, but just enough to make you seen so people will take notice when you walk in the room. My creative process is inspired by several different factors. I may be listening to a song on the radio, music up loud, and then the idea just hit me. And that music, in addition to what ideas are coming, and it'll just keep flowing. So I'm inspired by music, of course, a lot of different styles of music, different genres. People I see on the street, where I see everybody as a potential model for me. How would I dress this person? What would I put him in? What would I put her in? And I look at their lifestyle and I kind of see if I can figure out their story. What do I see when I look at that individual? Now let me help them relay their message a little bit more. I'm inspired by peacefulness. Seeing people in their element, in their zone, doing what they love to do, that takes away the stresses of life. Because you're in a happiness that's not gauged by money or belongings. It's purpose. Something that you see that moves you, that inspires you to be better, because you see that what that is working to be better. My inspiration also comes from the travels I've had throughout my life. I've been to several different countries during my time in the military. I travel the states quite a bit, vacationing or business trips or whatever I may need to be going somewhere. But I look at the different areas and understand that we are different, but we are the same. And I pull those little details from the different places I've been, and I try to incorporate all of that as a common denominator to see what I come up with. Because even though, you may go overseas, like I've been to Saudi Arabia, I've been to Kuwait, but then you see some of the styles that those people have, it is similar to what you have here in the US. And then within these states, from the East Coast to the West Coast to the Midwest, Dirty South, there are a lot of differences, but there's still similarities, and I try to mesh them all together. The goals I have for my clothing line is to create a brand that lets people know that the person that's wearing it is a leader in himself. They're defined by the definition that they've given to themselves, not what society says they are. A person that's found the strength within them to be who they are, to bring out the best and stand up and tell the world, I am here. Whether you disagree or not, I am here. When I hear the word success, the first thing that comes to mind is also purpose. Success is defined by the definition you give to it. Me doing what I want to do has made me successful. Me being a part of something, a great team that I wanted to be a part of, makes me successful, and it's just getting better. I would say one of the biggest compliments of my career in this business was honestly my first photo shoot. Just because it was one of those things I said I wanted to do. I knew I can do this, and when it actually happened, when the director of the shoot was instructing the model and I was giving my input, I just had to step back and say, wow, this is really happening. That was the biggest accomplishment, because how they say, you don't have to be great to get started. You just have to get started to be great. So once I really got started, that's when I knew we here. We done what we needed to do. Now let's progress. To those who want to get in the fashion industry, what I recommend, research. You can hear a lot of information from a lot of different people, but you have to get what fits for what you're doing. There are different brands of screen printing, materials, stitching, sewing, embellishments. There are a whole lot of different things into the end product that you see. But each detail, you need to pick it out. So it's what you want, not what somebody suggests that you want. Test the durability of your items. See will it withstand the test of time. There's going to be a lot of trial and error. Through that trial and error, don't get discouraged. Don't beat yourself up if you make a mistake. Go back and fix it. You always have the opportunity to start over. Failure is just an opportunity to begin again. So just don't quit. But what you do is, like I said, do your research, figure out what it is you're trying to do, and go get samples of different things. Read up on stuff, little classes that they have. Always get involved in things like that. Always study your craft. Never get complacent with what you're doing. There's always something new to learn. So just stay true to that. Always be a student of your craft. As far as models go, I think I would more want to work with up and coming versus established, because understanding I am an underdog. I'm new in the industry in a sea of designers. So it's a challenge to stand out or get yourself established when there's so many people already in the business to you may be overlooked so much just because of a name. So I want to use models that are just as passionate about their goals of trying to get there. That way we can grow together and we can leave a legacy for what it is we're trying to do. When I hear the word love, first thing comes to my mind is joy. That's my wife. Secondly, my company, L.O.V.E Incorporated. To see someone wearing my items, how does it feel? It's almost indescribable. An affiliate company of mine, Streetline Productions, some of my items were cast in one of her movies. And just to see my items walk across that screen, it actually brought tears to my eyes. You know, it's a matter of putting in your hard work and somewhat appreciating what you're doing to put your hard work and incorporate it into their hard work. Because, you know, as a business owner, entrepreneur, you know, what you do is more than just a job. It's one of those things where your heart, your soul goes into this. So for somebody to put my items in their movie that they worked so hard for, that meant a lot to me. So Streetline Productions, thank you so much. I want to get back into the Boys and Girls Club because that's where I got my start. I would like to say I'm a member of the Central Ward Boys and Girls Club in Newark. That kept me off the streets. It gave me something positive to do, and that's why I started with the NIFTY program, National Foundation for Teaching Entrepreneurship, with Steve Mariotti. That is what opened up this idea of being my own boss. And I definitely want to give back to that because it teaches you something different. And the Boys and Girls Club, because it gives you a place to learn something different. When I hear the word family, what comes to mind is support, shoulders to lean on, encouragers. It's so much that instills, that comes to mind when you say family, but that also incorporates love too. You can follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram under L.O.V.E Inc. 312, L-O-V-E Inc. the numbers 312. My items can be purchased from our official website, www.loveinc.tv. My thoughts on bootlegging is it's a terrible thing. It hurts the person that's putting in their hard work to make something for somebody basically just stealing from them. You know, if I put in the hard work to make a new item that I want to present, but if somehow somebody gets one and duplicates it and I'm not getting any money for it, the people that I work with, the up and coming artists I'm working with, trying to give them their shots so we can all grow together, that takes away from us all and it loses the integrity of the craft. With any industry that's in, bootlegging is doing a lot more damage than people think. When I hear legacy, what comes to mind is a path to follow that will help you be great in life. That you are the only person that you need to convince yourself that you are capable of doing what you want to do. Yeah, in those journeys, you're going to get a great team that comes, that you're able to help you achieve your goal. But you had to be the first one to believe that you can do it. What I want to do is show people, yeah, you may have a lot of adversities in life, but that doesn't have to stop you. That doesn't have to convince you to go otherwise. If you keep yourself determined, you can do what you set your heart out to do and leave that legacy, even though others say you can't. What's next for me? What we're doing is we're still trying to shoot commercials and bring new items out. And with our commercials, we want to try to showcase new models, new artists coming out as a collaborative effort. Because like I said before, I want us to work together to grow. There's enough room in all of these industries for everybody to take their place. So what we try to do, we try to incorporate that. We have commercials that we're working on that's more than just showing a product, but it's telling a little story about what it is we're trying to do. And again, it demonstrates the leader, the greatness within us all that needs to come out.